Hello everyone. Welcome to today's presentation. I'm excited to share with you how to create a real, functional login form step by step. The title of our session is Build Your First Login Form with HTML. This is a beginner-friendly project designed to turn your HTML knowledge into practical skills you can actually use in web development. Over the next few slides, we'll walk through the process together so you can start building your own login forms with confidence. Let's get started. Forms are everywhere on the web. Every time you sign in to Facebook, Amazon, or Netflix, you're actually using a form. These forms are essential because they allow users to input information and interact with websites seamlessly. Mastering how to create and understand these forms opens the door to building interactive, user-friendly websites that people love to use. Now, why does this matter? Well, after we've learned the basics of HTML tags, it's time to put that knowledge into action. Today, you're going to create a complete login form from scratch. This isn't just about writing practice code. It's about laying the foundation for authentication systems that are used on every major website around the world. So, what will you build today? Think of it as your first real project, a practical, real-world application of what you've learned. This project will give you the confidence to develop forms that are functional, secure, and ready to be integrated into more complex sites in the future. This is a big step forward in your web development journey. Creating this login form is not just an exercise, it's a key skill that will serve as the backbone for many websites and applications you'll work on moving forward. Once a user submits a form, that data is sent to a server, where it's securely stored or processed for authentication purposes. This step is crucial for protecting user information and ensuring that the data is handled safely. Common fields you'll see in a form include name, email, and password, which are essential for identifying and verifying users. These fields help gather the necessary details from visitors to your site, making the interaction more personalized and secure. A form functions as an input system. Think of it as a structured way for users to enter their information. They do this through various elements like text fields, checkboxes, and buttons, which make the process straightforward and user-friendly. Understanding how forms work is fundamental because they're the primary way websites collect data from users, whether for sign-ups, surveys, or login processes. So, in essence, a form is a simple yet powerful tool that connects users to your site's backend, enabling data collection in a secure, organized manner. This process is vital in the broader context of web development and user interaction, ensuring both functionality and security. Alright, so let's dive into how we set up the structure of our HTML document for the login form. First, we start with the basic declaration, which is the doctyp HTML tag. This tells the browser that we're working with an HTML5 document, ensuring that it renders the page correctly. Next, we include the HTML and body tags. The HTML tag wraps everything, and the body contains all the content that will be visible on the page. This setup is essential because it creates a solid foundation for your entire web page. Now, within the body, we create a form element. Think of this as the container that will hold all your input fields. It's important because it groups related elements together, making it easier to manage and style later on. By establishing this structure, starting with the document declaration, then the HTML and body tags, and finally the form container, we're setting up a well-organized, standards-compliant web page. This foundation is crucial for building accessible, functional, and maintainable forms throughout your project. Now, this slide shows how to create a prominent header above your form fields. You can choose between using an H1 tag for larger, more dominant text, or an H3 for smaller, subtler headings, depending on your overall design needs. Here, we're highlighting the importance of clear labeling to guide users effectively. Next, you'll see the example with a heading labeled Login Form, wrapped in an H2 tag. Starting with a clear, descriptive heading like this helps users immediately understand what the form is for. It's a simple but crucial step in making your forms user-friendly. As we move on, Remember that adding a well-defined form heading not only improves accessibility, but also enhances the overall usability of your interface. When designing your forms, always think about how your headings can communicate the purpose quickly and clearly. So, whether you're using H1, H2, or H3, the key is to match the heading size to your design and to make sure the purpose of the form is immediately obvious to your users. This consistency ties into the broader theme of creating intuitive, accessible web forms. Now, let's look at how to properly create your form container. First, you start with the form tag, which essentially acts as a box that holds all your input elements together. Think of it as the container that keeps everything organized and connected. Inside this container, you'll place all your username, password, and button elements. Once you've added all your input fields, you close the form with the /form tag to complete the container. Remember, this structure is key to making your form functional and easy to manage. It's a simple yet crucial step in building effective web forms that are both user-friendly and well-organized. Now, let's look at how to create a text box where users can input their username. First, we need to add an input element with the type set to text. This is what makes the box where users can type their username. You can see the code here. Input type equals text, name equals username. Next, we need to create a label for this input field so users know what to enter. We do this using the label tag like so, label username, /label. So the key steps are, first, add the label to clearly indicate the purpose of the field. Second, create the input box itself with type text. This combination of a label and input field is essential because it makes the form understandable and user-friendly. When building forms, always remember to pair your input fields with descriptive labels. This improves accessibility and helps users navigate the form more easily. And as you'll see, these steps are fundamental building blocks in creating effective, interactive web forms that engage users and gather the information you need. Now, let's look at a key difference when creating input fields for passwords compared to regular text fields. Instead of using type equals text, we use type equals password. This is crucial because it makes the text invisible as users type, which helps protect their sensitive information from prying eyes nearby. When you create a password input, you simply use input. This automatically displays dots or asterisks instead of the actual characters, ensuring privacy. It's also important to include a label for clarity. So you'll create a label that says password to identify the field clearly for users. Putting it all together, a password input field with a label not only enhances security, but also improves usability. Remember, the main point here is that using type equals password is a simple yet essential way to safeguard users' sensitive information when they're entering passwords or other confidential data. Now, when users click this button, the form collects all the data they've entered and sends it to the server for processing. In a real-world application, that's where the server would verify the credentials, checking if the username and password are correct, and then grant access accordingly. It's like a gatekeeper process that ensures only authorized users get in. This step is crucial because it connects the user interface to the backend logic, making the login process functional. And to make this happen, your form needs a way to submit the data. Hence, the importance of creating a submit button using the button tag with type equals submit. In our case, finalizing this with the right button is the last touch to make the login form complete. This button, when clicked, triggers the form submission, ensuring all entered data is sent off for verification. So remember, adding this submit button isn't just about the look. It's about enabling the entire login process to work smoothly from start to finish. All right, now that we've built our login form, it's time to see it in action. Save your file as login, HTML, then open it in your web browser. Give it a test by entering some data and hitting submit. This is a crucial step